already prepared and you've done your research, you're ready for the meeting itself. Be sure to bring a copy of your resume, even if you've sent the contact one ahead of time. Remember that you've scheduled the meeting. You're in the driver's seat. How should you structure your time together or your phone conversation? The first few minutes of your meeting, focused on informal exchanges and pleasantries, is about building a connection with your contact. Take a genuine interest in them with some initial casual conversation. They may ask to hear your story, so be prepared to talk a little bit about yourself. The second and largest portion of your meeting is inquiry and conversation. This is where you transition to asking the questions you prepared while building on the natural conversation you started with your contact. The goal of this part of the conversation is to learn from your contact's experience while building an advocate within the organization who will support you throughout your job search. The focus of your conversation at this stage of the meeting should be on the contact, not on you. This is where you can impress your contact by asking good questions about their role and the organization. Keep in mind, your questions should lead to a dialogue, and you should feel comfortable sharing your own thoughts and insights. This should come naturally if you've prepared well. You will want to devote the last few minutes to the closing of your meeting. Ideally, you should initiate the closing when your time is almost up, letting your contact know you want to be conscious of the time they have set aside for you. This is the part of the informational interview when you make your asks. You can ask if your contact can recommend anyone else that may be a valuable resource as you consider a career in the space. You can also ask the contact if they recommend any additional resources relevant to your career interests. You can ask if your contact is comfortable with you reaching back out to them throughout the job search. Above all, make sure to thank them for their time.
After your informational interview, the single most important action on your part is to send a thank you note to your contact within 24 hours of the meeting. A brief email message is completely acceptable. Your note should not only thank your contact, but refer to aspects of your conversation you found particularly insightful. If your contact refers you to additional individuals in the company or industry, confirm you will be reaching out to them. Or if they suggested a specific book or resources to help you, make sure to mention how you will incorporate them into your process. Finally, keep the possibility open to future contact and conversations if they were open to continuing the dialogue. Also, after you send a thank you note, send your contact a LinkedIn request. Don't use the generic default language provided by LinkedIn, but customize your request, reiterating your gratitude for the meeting and your contact's assistance. A personalized message will reinforce your relationship and further ensure they accept your request.
We've covered a lot of material in this session, so let's briefly summarize the key points. First, networking is a critical component in driving a successful career, and informational interviews are an effective method to both learn about potential career options and build your network. When designing your outreach, leverage the resources at Owen to help you identify relevant contacts, the CMC, peer coaches, faculty, staff, and fellow students. Devise a system to track your contacts and outreach, like a spreadsheet or an online document. Remember that your email outreach should be concise, specific about your objective, and ask for no more than 20 or 30 minutes of time. Prior to your scheduled informational meeting, research both your contact and the organization and prepare thoughtful, customized questions that reflect your research. You should start your meeting by building a connection, spend the bulk of your time asking your questions, and conclude with your asks. And very important, follow up with a thank you email within 24 hours of your meeting. The tips that we've provided and shared in this video should give you a good foundation to begin creating and executing your plan for professional outreach.